For 313, video B, we're going to be working with rounding. And one of the things we're going to do is we're just going to draw just basically a line. Okay, I'm going to just draw it a little bit thicker so it's easier to see. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with a 0, and every couple I'm going to put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then that's going to go to 10. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this, and we're going to start placing numbers onto this, and this is called a scale. And a scale is just a visual representation. Now, if I wanted to, I could put larger gaps in between here, but because of, I'm working, on an iPad in the graph paper, if I make them too big, then it's going to go off the page here. But now let's look at the number 76. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to figure out where does 76 fit on this number line. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be rounding to the nearest 10. So I'm going to put 76 right here, in between 7 and 8. Okay? So we know that it's going to, if I'm going to round to the nearest 10, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make sure that these are 10s. So I'm going to change this to 70 and 80. And you can do this and you can figure out whatever your scale is going to be. So if I wanted, I could keep adding 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So it's going to fit in there. The question is, where does it going to fit? Now, the reason why I skipped every other one, because this is going to be 70, 75, 80. And if I'm correct, which I generally am with this, 76 is going to be to the right side of that 0, of that middle line. Okay? So it is going to be closer, if I look at it visually, it's going to be closer to 80 than it is to 70. So 76, when rounded to the nearest 10, is going to give me, is 80. So our answer is 80. Now, let's draw let's draw another scale here. Okay. And again, let's make our marks 0, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. And I'm just going to make my marks here. All right. Now, this time we're going to round to the nearest 100. And I should put that right here so we know. And I'll put that 10 up here so we know where that was going. And our number is going to be 531. Now 531 we know is going to be between the 5 and the 6. So I'm just going to write 531 here. And we're rounding to the nearest 100, so this is going to be 500 and this is going to be 600. Now if I want, I could fill in the rest of these, but again, I'm lazy like you are, so I'm not going to do that because I know I'm focusing between these two. Now the question is, where does 531 fit on this number line? Well, this is going to be 550 right there, right in the middle. So 531 is going to be below that. This is probably going to be 531. So the question is 531 closer to 500 or is it closer to 600? Well, based on appearance, it's closer to 500. So my answer, 531 rounded to the nearest 100, is 500. Let's do this one more time. Let's make our scale. Let's change the width of this. There we go. That looks a little bit better. And again, make our hash marks. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1. Just fill that in so we are more sure of where we are. And this one we're going to round to the nearest 1,000. And our number is 3,674. So that's going to be 3,674. Now these are going to be 1,000, and that's going to be 4,000. Now, this right here is going to be 3,500. So 3,600 is going to be closer to here. And the question is it closer to the 3,000 mark, or is it closer to 4,000? Well, hopefully you see it's closer to 4,000. So 4,000 is our answer. So 3,674, when rounded to the nearest thousand, is 4,000. Now, let's look at this a different way. If I were to give you three numbers, 7,581, and I want you to round, this one is going to round to the nearest thousand. Well, the two numbers that it's going to be is either going to be 8,000 up here, or it's going to be 7,000 right here. Now, when we look at this, ladies and gentlemen, remember, we look at whatever the place value is, 8,000, we're going to look at the number to the right. Now, if it is, I need a pen here, the rule is if it's 0 through 4, you go to the floor. You go to the floor. If it's 5 through 9, you climb the vine, which means you go up. So if I look at 7, we're rounded to the nearest thousand. Let's change colors here. I'm going to look at my neighbor to the right. 5 tells us that we climb the vine, so we're going to go up to 8,000. Let's look at this one then. 12,327, and we're rounding to the nearest. Let's round to the nearest thousand again. Okay, nearest thousand is here, so is it going to go to 12,000, or is it going to go to 13,000? Well, let's look. 0 through 4 we go to the floor. 5 through 9 we climb the vine. Well, that M has an extra bump on it. Let's forget we see that. 1,000, oops, I need my red. 1,000, we look to our neighbor. 3, does that tell us to go up or down? Go to floor, so we're going to go down. So we're going to go to 12,000. One more problem here. Let's look at the number 293. 293. And this one we're going to round to the nearest 100. So it's either going to go up to 300 or down to 200. Which one? Well, we have to look at the number in the 100 spot. And then we look to our neighbor. Does 9 tell us to go up or down? Well, 0 through 4, go to floor. 5 through 9, climb the vine. Well, it's a 9, so we're going to go up to 300. All right, so that's video number 2. Video number 3 is going to be your practice, and then video 4 we've got some story problems, so let's get ready for video 3.